The flickering candlelight cast long, dancing shadows across the dining room, a scene straight out of a romance novel. I smiled, adjusting the silverware for the third time. Tonight was special. It was our 5th wedding anniversary, and I had spent the entire day preparing Dante's favorite meal, osso buco, just like his nonna used to make. The scent of rosemary and wine filled our home, a fragrance I associated with love and comfort. I glanced at the clock. 8 p.m. Dante was late, but that wasn't unusual. As a top surgeon, his hours were often unpredictable. I poured myself a glass of the expensive Barolo we'd been saving and settled onto the sofa, my heart fluttering with anticipation. Another hour crawled by. The candles began to shrink, their flames sputtering. My smile had faded, replaced by a tight knot of worry in my stomach. I sent him a text. "Everything okay? Dinner's getting cold. Love you." No reply. I called his phone. It went straight to voicemail. This was strange. He always answered, even if it was just to say he was in surgery. The ossobuco sat cooling on the stove, the rich sauce congealing slightly. The romantic ambience I so carefully crafted now felt mocking, a hollow echo of my hopes for the evening. By 10 p.m., worry had curdled into a cold, heavy dread. I started tidying up, my movements robotic. As I cleared the table, I noticed his tablet lying on the bookshelf, the one he used for work and rarely brought home. He must have forgotten it in his rush this morning. An idea, ugly and unwelcome, slithered into my mind. I never once snooped. I trusted Dante completely. Our marriage was built on that trust. But tonight, something felt fundamentally wrong. The silence in the house was deafening, amplifying the frantic beating of my own heart. With trembling hands, I picked up the tablet. It wasn't password protected. His email was open. My eyes scanned the inbox, looking for a clue, a hospital emergency, anything to explain his absence, and then I saw it. A thread of emails with a name I didn't recognize, Chloe. The subject line was "Tonight." My breath hitched. Against every screaming instinct telling me to stop, to close the tablet and pretend I'd seen nothing, my finger tapped the screen. The email chain opened, and my world shattered. It wasn't a work emergency. It was a hotel reservation. The confirmation was for a suite at the Grand Astoria, a luxury hotel downtown for tonight. My eyes blurred with tears as I scrolled down, reading the messages exchanged between my husband and this woman, Chloe. They were filled with inside jokes, pet names, and declarations of love that felt like daggers in my chest. He called her his sunshine, his reason for breathing. He had used those exact words with me, whispered into my ear on our wedding day. The words he'd used to build our life together were now being used to tear it apart. There were photos too. Selfies of them at a winery I'd always wanted to visit. A picture of Chloe wearing Dante's hospital jacket, her smile radiant. They looked so happy, so comfortable. A wave of nausea washed over me. This wasn't a recent fling. The emails went back months, nearly a year. A whole year of my life had been a lie. Every late night at the hospital, every business trip, every time he'd come home, smelling of a perfume that wasn't mine, it all clicked into place with sickening clarity. I stumbled into the bathroom and stared at my reflection, barely recognizing the pale, wide-eyed woman staring back. The woman who had spent her day cooking a celebratory meal for a man who was celebrating with someone else. A raw, guttural sob escaped my lips, the sound foreign and animalistic. The pain was physical, a crushing weight on my chest that made it impossible to breathe. How could I have been so blind? Had I been a fool? The signs had all been there, little red flags I dismissed as products of a stressful job or my own insecurity. Just after midnight, I heard his key in the lock. I quickly wiped my tears, my grief hardening into a cold, steely resolve. I wouldn't cry in front of him. I wouldn't give him that satisfaction. I walked back into the living room, the tablet clutched in my hand like a weapon. He stepped inside, a tired but content smile on his face. He was holding a bouquet of wilted roses, a pathetic afterthought. "Selene, I'm so sorry, honey." We had a last-minute emergency, a multi-car pileup. It was chaos. He moved to kiss me, but I took a step back. His smile faltered as he saw my expression. "What's wrong?" he asked, his voice laced with manufactured concern. I said nothing. I just held up the tablet, the screen glowing with his treachery. I watched as the color drained from his face. The confident, brilliant surgeon was gone, replaced by a cornered, guilty man. He opened his mouth, then closed it, the lies dying on his lips. In that moment of silence, the man I had loved, the man I had built a life with, ceased to exist. "Happy anniversary, Dante," I said, my voice eerily calm. I walked past him, went into our bedroom, and packed a bag. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I could never spend another night in that house, a monument to our shared lies. As I closed the front door behind me, I felt a strange sense of liberation. The pain was still there, a gaping wound in my soul, but for the first time in a year, I could finally breathe. The night I discovered my husband's lies was the night my marriage ended, but it was also the night I began to find myself again. It's a long and difficult journey, and this was just the beginning. The path to healing is never easy, but realizing your own strength is the most powerful first step you can take. If you've ever felt betrayed or lost, know that you are not alone, and you have the power to rebuild your life. Thanks for listening to my story. Please subscribe for more, and remember to take care of yourselves.